red frock from the 1870s, Mike Eveley. Oh, he's managed to wake up, yes. Nice to see. It's so good of you to join us. Yeah. He's great for his age, absolutely wonderful. And his teeth are his own too. Next we have, where has he gone? Oh, he's there. Matt Perry, looking suitably sinister in the uniform of the 1740s. Then smartest paint in Union blue. Alan Booth, who's our firearms officer. Mike's wife Mary, looking like she's stepped just straight from the pages of Dickens. And last but not least, our little Southern Belle, Susan Bull, who comes from shooting standards to assist us to set some standards, and boy do we need them setting. However, as we're talking about standards, let's pass over the microphone to a man who has uncommonly high standards and who does a better job than me mumbling into this strange lemon-shaped lolly.
Why, thank you, Bill. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to, as Bill described it, a somewhat disreputable show. There will be some very loud bangs, a lot of nasty smells, and some flashes. And we'll be firing quite a lot of guns at the same time, just making it more interesting. Right, how should we start? Well, we'll start with the very first hand-portable gun. The Matchlock, Harquebus, handgun, hand cannon name. Matt has here a model, a replica of a medieval musket, if you like, an arquebus, hand cannon, handgun. All it is a very long tube, the barrel, and at one end, it's open at one end where the lead will be coming out, we hope. And at the other end, the butt end, the blunt end, which will go up against his shoulder eventually, there's a very tiny hole which leads out onto a small pan on the side of the gun. Now, these are loaded by the muzzle. They're called muzzle loaders because this is how it was done. You'll see Matt has a lot of little containers about his person, and he will then pour the contents of one of those little wooden bottles, namely some gunpowder, a pre-measured charge of gunpowder, down the muzzle of the gun, and down to the bottom. He will then reach into what is eloquently called his ball bag and remove what would have been a lead ball, but on this occasion we're using toilet paper. Far more hygienic and doesn't do the windows quite so much damage. He then rams the whole lot down to the bottom of the barrel using his scouring stick, and then he will open the little pan on the side. There's a cover there to try and stop the powder flying everywhere. And he pours a little bit of gunpowder into that pan there, and that is going to be the charge. And when that lights up, it will fire through the little hole and hopefully ignite the main charge. Now you see in front of Matt there's a stick with a piece of burning string or match or cord on it, and that's what we're going to be using to set it off with, the Matchlock. The mechanism by which it works is that on the side of the gun, next to that pan, is a sort of strange snake-shaped thing, the serpentine, which has a little vice at the top, and that vice then grips a piece of burning match or burning string, or wick or cord or whatever you'd like to call it. And underneath it is a thing called a trigger, which later became trigger. The trigger, which when that pulls it, will make that piece of string pull down and dip into the pan. So he's just checking to make sure that when he dips, teeth again. When he dips his wick into the appropriate place, it will go off and give fire. Wonderful, wonderful, splendid. Now, that's useful because it gives me a chance to talk about something else while he's doing that. That, ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't intentional, it was called a flash in the pan. That's exactly what a flash in the pan is. Nice big flash, big puff of smoke and absolutely nothing happening. It didn't go off properly. Well, this happens. So he's going to get out his furkler, which is a small piece of metal which he will then furkle through the hole to see if we can clear any obstruction in that little hole. Then he'll pour some more gunpowder on and we'll try the whole process once again. Now, as I'm sure you can appreciate, in the military, this was not something you did when you could see the cavalry coming over the hill, because you weren't going to survive. It just takes too long. And once that gun's been fired once, really in battle, there was nothing, it was probably more used as a club in actual fact, because it's so heavy. So once again, he screws his match in and blows on his red end to get a nice big red end, opens the pan and dips his wick. And at last it went off. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the Matchlock. Thank you very much.